Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet. Didn't even go around. Moses Itauma advanced to 11-0 versus Demsey McKean in Saudi Arabia on the Usyk Fury rematch card. He blitzes Demsey McKean, dropping him twice in the first round. And the 19-year-old, he still got another 4 months or so to try and become the youngest heavyweight world champion. So it's still alive after this performance against McKean, which was meant to be a test. And McKean is not exactly a chump. He has gone rounds with some good experienced fighters. Obviously, almost 12 rounds with Filip Hrgovic, but Itauma made this one look easy. And the real difference maker in this one was the 19-year-old heavyweight's speed. He really blitzed McKean, who just couldn't handle that speed. The first knockdown came pretty early on. It was actually a looping left hand, and actually on the replay at the end of the fight, you saw that it was kind of behind the back of the head. But the second one left, no doubt, McKean. He was already hurt. You had Moses Itauma using feints, and then he throws another big left hand, a bit straighter, and this one connects on the jaw of McKean. And he goes down. He was clearly short-circuited. He fell funny, fell partially on his own leg and foot, bent in a really weird angle. He gets up and starts to meander off as the referee is delivering the count. On the replay, you saw that the corner had thrown in the towel and had come up to the ring apron. McKean was obviously livid with himself and was swearing as he was facing away from the referee, who was still counting, and then the ref's like, nah, okay, that's it. So, slight strange ending there, but the result conclusive. Moses Itauma, the 19-year-old Frank Warren heavyweight, he does look the goods. And I was saying ahead of this fight there, I thought this was an appropriate test for his 11th fight, and it was levels above the opponents that he had been facing. Remembering he stopped Mariusz Wach, a very faded Mariusz Wach last time out, but how much could we take from that? But he stopped Demsey McKean in a round here, and I think you have to say, I mean, based on that, you got to chuck Moses Itauma, somewhere into the top 25. He's still a work in progress, and obviously matchmaking's coming into it, but are they going to go for some version of a heavyweight title? Well, we're going to have to see. I guess one thing that could potentially be an option, well, you do have Kubrat Pulev, who has the WBA regular title. It is counted as a heavyweight title of sorts. Secondary title, but would that count? I mean, would people recognize Itauma as the youngest ever? I'm not so sure. But I guess in terms of the 4 belts at the moment, you have Daniel Dubois fighting Joseph Parker early in 2025, so that's 1 belt the IBF tied up. The other 3 are currently with Usyk, and he's about to fight Fury. If Fury wins, there's going to be a rematch. I wouldn't see a belt splitting off, but potentially, who knows? Maybe that could happen. Maybe one of the sanctioning bodies will split a belt off because there's no undisputed at play at the moment. Or if Alexander Usyk lost and decided he's not going to continue his career, or if he wins and decided he's going to retire, maybe there could be a vacant belt. Still a few permutations. Itauma's got to sometime in May 2025 to try get this thing. It's felt very gimmicky at times this year because they hadn't exactly moved Itauma along at the rate that you sort of thought he would need to be moved on in terms of the number of fights and the caliber of the opposition. But they took a step up here, a significant step up from what he'd been fighting, faded journeyman and all that sort of stuff, and he's come out looking like $1 million. And this was the co-main event of the Usyk Fury rematch. So a huge stage for him to show his wares, and Moses Itauma's star is on the rise, continues to rise. And regardless of whether the whole heavyweight youngest world champion is a thing or, ends up petering out because there's no opportunity, whatever, Itauma is obviously going to be a feature and a figure in the heavyweight division for some considerable years to come. So the world is his oyster at this point. Sure, they might be using the youngest heavyweight, thing to sort of attach to his name, build a little bit of hype and compare him to Mike Tyson. But let's face it, he is building his name on his own with these sorts of performances. This was a devastating performance by Itauma. a lot to like about the 19-year-old. Still a work in progress. We've seen in some of the earlier fights that, he can't always stop guys. He's going to have to, guys that are a bit more durable and a bit more about them, and certainly at a higher level, are going to be much tougher challenges. So, he'll keep working hard in the gym, no doubt. But what do you make of the performance? Itauma, every poster winner so far, 11-0 at this point, 9 knockouts on the ledger. Drop a comment loud and often. Hit like, hit subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, boxing_squared. I'm out.